Multimodal presentation on James Nachtwey by Christian Kreskall. James Nachtwey is an American photojournalist and war photographer born on March 14, 1948 in Syracuse, New York. Nachtwey grew up in Massachusetts and graduated from Dartmouth College, where he studied art history and political science. In 1980, he moved to New York City and became a freelance photographer. James continued his path for a successful career and has been a contract photographer with Time magazine since 1984. James Nachtwey began focusing his time on capturing a variety of armed conflicts and social issues. He spent a lot of time in South Africa, Latin America, the Middle East, Russia, Eastern Europe, and many other places. Nachtwey has been awarded the International Center of Photography Infinity Award 3 times, the Magazine Photographer of the Year Award 7 times, and many other awards and accomplishments. Nachtwey's quote on his photography page, where he posts all of the images that he presents, is, "I have been a witness, and these pictures are my testimony. The events I have recorded should not be forgotten and must not be repeated." We can infer from this quote that Nachtwey has been exposed to many terrible situations, and that by taking these photographs, he hopes to bring attention to these issues so that they don't repeat themselves. Nachtwey has grown to be one of the most respected photographers in the industry because of his bravery and courage for going into places most photographers won't. Nachtwey captured many outstanding photographs, such as this photograph taken on 9/11. All of these photographs taken by Nachtwey were either taken using a Canon EOS 1D's Mark II digital camera or a Canon EOS 1V's SLR's film camera. This photo, titled Ground Zero, was taken shortly after the collapse of the World Trade Center. This devastating photo that James took has amazing composition. I believe that the rule of thirds between the building, the smoke in the air, and the firefighter really create a very descriptive and ethically evaluated photograph. The use of dark colors and the fuzzy smoke moved the audience's eyes throughout the picture in order to capture the true chaos that is occurring in this photo. Almost all of Nachtwey's photography, at least the ones that I present, are ethically evaluative, in order to show the effects of war, conflict, and other socio-political issues. This photograph was taken in Alabama in 1994 and is titled Prisoner on the Chain Gang. Chain gangs were groups of convicts that were forced to perform labor tasks, such as road construction, ditch digging, or farming, while being chained together. This photo depicts a prisoner that looks defeated and worn out from all the work that he has put through. He is looking down at the ground with his arms folded on the prison bars. This gives the audience an impression that he is hoping one day to finally see the other side of the bars. The use of black and white in this photo brings out the misery that this man is feeling in this photo. By using the bird's eye view, James is showing that something in this man's life is powering over him, and he feels inferior behind the prison bars. The next photograph was taken in Rwanda in 1994 and is titled Survivor of Hutu Death Camp. This photograph shows a Hutu man who did not support genocide and was taken into the concentration camp, was starved, and attacked with machetes. This man managed to survive after he was freed and placed in the care of Red Cross. James Nachtwey's use of negative space and black and white lighting gives the audience more of a focus on the scars and the torture this man has lived through. The blurred picture on the left side makes me feel as if this man is moving past his dark past and looking into a brighter future. This photo was taken in Sudan in 1993 and is titled Famine Victim in Feeding Center. This photograph subject shows an unhealthy man who is almost all skin and bone due to the famine in Sudan that killed thousands of people. This man seems to be crawling around because his bones are too weak to support his body weight. This picture is also ethically evaluative because it brings awareness to issues around the world that need to be addressed. The use of black and white lighting, along with the fact that he is at a feeding center, gives off the impression that this place is still not a happy place or a place of nourishment. This photograph, taken in 1998 in Indonesia, titled A Beggar Washed His Children in a Polluted Canal, shows a homeless man with no arm and leg washing and caring for his 3 children. The use of black and white again in this image just brings out the sadness that most people would feel when seeing this photograph. This man has no home, no arm, and no leg, yet he is still caring for his loved ones the best that he could do. You can tell that the man is a lot skinnier than his children. This is probably because all the food that he is given goes to his children. This photograph is also ethically evaluative and descriptive because it shows the who, what, where, when, and why, and also shows the struggles that this homeless man must go through. This photograph was taken in Afghanistan in 1986 and is titled Mujahideen Praying While on Operation Against the Soviet Army. These soldiers engaged in jihad and fight on behalf of God, religion, or the community. The use of symmetry and negative colors is very prominent in this photograph. If you notice, this photograph has colors unlike the other photographs. I believe that James did this because he wants to show the peace and bond that these soldiers have with each other and with their God. Although that these soldiers are engaging in peaceful prayer, they must always be ready for attack, which is why they are kneeling on their weapons. This photograph, taken in El Salvador in 1984, titled Army Evacuated Wounded Soldiers from Village Football Field, shows three little girls in bright dresses hiding behind a tree in order to shield the dirt and dust being kicked up in their faces. This photograph shows an ethically evaluative perspective again because it shows how these little girls are being affected by war and conflict. The composition of this image is very powerful, and if you notice, this photograph is also showing color. The use of negative dark colors separates itself from the positive bright colors of their dresses because it shows the adolescence and innocence of these three little girls. This photograph was taken in Romania in 1990, titled An Orphanage for Incurables. This powerful photo shows a little boy who is confined within a metal crate and apparently incurable from some type of disease. This photo was taken in black and white lighting to remove any of the distractions around the boy and clearly show that the subject of the photograph, which appears to be the scared little boy. The composition of this image shows many other children in the background as well, which gives the audience an impression that the emotion of this little boy is the emotion of all of the children in the orphanage. Thank you.